Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. Just by mentioning these two names, it's impossible not to know who they are. Multiple-time NBA champions, both had successful individual careers, but they will always be remembered for the period they shared the Lakers uniform. However, where did it all begin? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the amazing videos we'll be releasing. Why did the seemingly victorious and close partnership end in conflict, with the two becoming almost mortal rivals? On one occasion, when Kobe won his last title and was asked how it felt to be a five-time champion, his response made it clear that the wounds of their rivalry were still open. To understand this story, we need to go back in time, specifically to 1996. The Lakers were never considered a terribly bad team, partly due to the championship history and the fact that they were in one of the biggest basketball markets, Los Angeles, with a loyal fan base. However, by 1996, the team hadn't won a title since the days of Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in 1988. That season, Magic played only 9 games, and the Lakers were looking to rebuild their roster to return to the top. In 1996, the Lakers had the opportunity to bolster their team with one of the best, strongest, and most dominant centers the NBA had ever seen, Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq, who had been drafted by the Orlando Magic in 1992, was already breaking backboards there, and with just 3 seasons in the NBA, had led the team to the finals in 1995. However, the Magic lost to the Houston Rockets. Even so, Shaq was the star of the Magic but was struggling to renew his contract with the team. A public campaign was launched for the people to decide if he was worth the $115 million he was asking for. The idea was to convince fans that he deserved the largest contract in franchise history, but the campaign was a disaster. With overwhelming disapproval, the door opened for Jerry West and the Lakers, who signed Shaq for $121 million on a 7-year contract. Meanwhile, the other piece of this puzzle was Kobe Bryant. At 17, Kobe had enough talent to go straight from high school to the NBA. After finishing his studies at Lower Merion High School, he declared himself eligible for the 1996 draft. Kobe was selected 13th overall, but few took a high school player seriously. Kobe trained with teams like the Clippers, Boston Celtics, and New Jersey Nets, who had the 8th pick in the draft. However, Kobe made it clear that he didn't want to play for the Nets, as rumors indicated that the Lakers were interested in him, and Kobe was also keen to play in Los Angeles. The Charlotte Hornets ended up selecting Kobe with the 13th pick, but Jerry West, once again showing his genius, quickly traded veteran Vlade Divac for Kobe on draft night. The Hornets had no real interest in Kobe and were desperate for a center, having lost Alonzo Mourning shortly before. Thus, Kobe ended up with the Lakers, the same year Shaq arrived. Even at a very young age, Kobe already demonstrated his work ethic and personality by presenting himself as someone who came to dominate. Shaq, on the other hand, was more playful and had a good relationship with other Lakers players, but made it clear he wasn't going to babysit an 18-year-old newcomer to the NBA. The 1996 to 1997 season for the Lakers was good. They won 56 games and finished 4th in the West. However, Shaq suffered an injury and missed 31 games, but that didn't stop the team from securing a good playoff spot. When healthy, Shaq was named an All-Star, with impressive averages of 26 points, 12.5 rebounds, and 2 blocks per game. Meanwhile, Kobe, at 18, was training hard to prove he deserved to be in the league. He competed in the All-Star Dunk Contest and emerged victorious, but he had a quiet start to his career, averaging 7.6 points and 1.9 rebounds per game. In the playoffs, the Lakers passed the first round, defeating the Portland Trail Blazers 3-1. However, in the semifinals, they faced the more experienced Utah Jazz, led by Karl Malone and John Stockton. The series was tough, and in Game 5, with the Lakers on the verge of elimination, Shaq fouled out. Kobe saw this as his chance to shine, but ended up shooting 4 consecutive air balls at the end of the game. The Lakers were eliminated, but after the game, the first to console Kobe was Shaq, who publicly said that these mistakes would motivate him to grow. In the following season, Kobe was still a reserve, but his popularity was rising. He started shooting more and made significant improvements, averaging 15.4 points per game and being voted as a starter for the All-Star game. Shaq remained the team's main star, averaging 26.2 points and and 12.5 rebounds, but a feeling of jealousy began to emerge. Shaq became bothered by the attention the young Kobe was receiving. In the playoffs, the Lakers won 61 games and again passed the Blazers in the Seattle Supersonics. However, in the Western Conference Finals, they faced the Utah Jazz again and were swept 4-0. After this elimination, tensions between Shaq and Kobe began to escalate. During preseason training, Kobe started provoking Shaq, calling him soft and saying the team now belonged to him. Shaq, annoyed, lost his temper, slapped Kobe, and the two exchanged punches. Before things got really ugly, the Lakers' teammates intervened to break up the fight, and neither player was injured. In Kobe's case, he was lucky, as Shaq could have ended his career that day. After the incident, Shaq cooled off by organizing a party with the other Lakers players, to which Kobe was invited but did not attend. Meanwhile, Kobe dedicated all his time to obsessive training, which didn't help improve the atmosphere between the two throughout the season. Shaq went on to call Kobe selfish in a press conference, claiming he wanted everyone to play for him and criticizing the fact that Kobe took almost every shot he received. During the 1998 to 1999 season, shortened due to financial disagreements, the Lakers finished fourth with 31 wins and 19 losses. Kobe was constantly evolving, reaching averages of 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists per game, while Shaq maintained his dominance with 26.3 points and 10.7 rebounds per game. It was a complicated season for the Lakers in terms of signings, and even Dennis Rodman played a few games for the team, something that few remember. However, his stint was brief. In the playoffs, the Lakers eliminated the Houston Rockets, featuring Scottie Pippen and Hakeem Olajuwon in the first round, 3-1, but were swept in the conference semifinals 4-0 by the San Antonio Spurs, led by Tim Duncan and David Robinson. Criticism of the Lakers grew louder, and the franchise needed to take action to be competitive in the playoffs. The time for Kobe and Shaq to mature had passed, and it was time to reap the rewards. The Lakers decided to fire head coach Del Harris and hired Phil Jackson, a multiple-time NBA champion with Michael Jordan's Chicago Bulls. After a year off, Phil returned to basketball with a wealth of experience in handling conflicting stars like Jordan and Pippen. Undoubtedly, he had the respect of all the athletes in the league due to his winning track record. When Phil Jackson arrived at the Lakers, Shaq knew things would be different. The two developed a connection and mutual respect, elevating Shaq's game to another level. He was already incredibly dominant, but now he was highly motivated with a coach who implemented an offensive scheme that greatly benefited him: Phil Jackson's famous triangle offense. Shaq trained intensely and was in one of the best physical shapes of his career, making him practically unstoppable. Even with Kobe's absence at the beginning of the season due to a right wrist injury, there's even a famous photo of Kobe training with just his left hand. Shaq dominated. In the 1999 to 2000 season, he averaged 30 points, 13.6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 blocks per game, winning the MVP award by an overwhelming margin. Kobe was the perfect second option, with a lethal mid-range shot, and maintained solid averages of 22.5 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 5 assists. Phil Jackson's impact was immediate, and the Lakers finished the regular season in first place in the Western Conference with an incredible 67 wins and only 15 losses. In the playoffs, they faced Jason Williams' Sacramento Kings in a tough series, but won the decisive game 3-2. In the conference semifinals, the Lakers faced Jason Kidd's Phoenix Suns, but had no significant difficulties, winning the series 4-1. The biggest challenge came in the conference finals against the Portland Trail Blazers, who now had a more experienced team with Scottie Pippen. The series was a true battle, with the Lakers taking a 3-1 lead, but the Blazers managed to tie it, forcing Game 7 in Los Angeles. In the final quarter of this decisive game, Portland built a 15-point lead, and Lakers fans began to lose hope. It was then that the Shaq and Kobe duo took charge, leading one of the most memorable comebacks in Lakers history. The team scored 25 points in the final quarter, highlighted by Kobe's alley-oop to Shaq in the last 40 seconds, sealing the Lakers' victory. Shaq and Kobe were headed to the first NBA Finals, where they would face the Indiana Pacers, led by Reggie Miller, one of the greatest shooters in history. Despite Miller's skill, Shaq and Kobe were at the peak, led by the genius of Phil Jackson. Shaq had a dominant series, averaging nearly 40 points per game, surpassing that mark in 3 of the 6 games in the series. The Indiana Pacers managed to win 2 games, one of them without Kobe, who injured his ankle early in Game 2, and another, Game 5, where Kobe played poorly, scoring only 8 points. Despite this, Kobe had a solid series, including a crucial moment in Game 4 when Shaq fouled out, and Kobe took responsibility, scoring 28 points to secure the win. At the end of Game 6, when the Lakers won the title, Kobe was the first to run and embrace Shaq in celebration. Thus, the dynamic duo of the Lakers secured their first championship together. The joy of the championship, won by Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant, wouldn't last long, and the duo quickly found themselves at odds again. Shortly after, Kobe spent the entire offseason training intensely to prepare for the next season, while Shaq took time off, indulged in food, and showed up to the first day of training camp out of shape. This infuriated Kobe, who stated that he should now be the first option on offense for Phil Jackson. Shaq, in response, once again called Kobe selfish. The Lakers started the season slowly compared to the previous year, winning only 11 of their first 35 games. Shaq then claimed that this poor start showed who was truly responsible for the team's 67 wins the previous season. However, by mid-season, Shaq resumed his intense training and regained his form. As a result, the Lakers started winning regularly, finishing the season with 56 wins, securing second place in the Western Conference. Shaq averaged 28.7 points and 12.7 rebounds, while Kobe had the best season of his career up to that point, averaging 28.5 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. In the playoffs, the Lakers put together one of the most dominant runs in NBA history. They faced the Portland Trail Blazers, the Sacramento Kings, and the San Antonio Spurs, winning the first 3 series 4-0. It was 11 consecutive wins heading into the finals, with Shaq and Kobe at their peaks, showing perfect chemistry on the court, as if they had never had any disagreements. In the 2001 finals, they faced the Philadelphia 76 ERs, led by the season's MVP, Allen Iverson, who carried his team and scored 48 points in Game 1, showing that it was possible to beat the Lakers. However, despite that win, Phil Jackson made the necessary adjustments, and the Lakers won the next 4 games, securing their second consecutive title. During the championship celebration, a memorable moment occurred when Shaq said something to Kobe in the locker room. In the following season, 2001 to 2002, the story repeated itself. Once again, Shaq and Kobe had disagreements, with Shaq complaining that Kobe trained like a maniac and calling him selfish. However, on the court, the duo remained unbeatable. The Lakers won 58 games and finished third in the West. Kobe averaged 25.2 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 5.5 assists, while Shaq posted 27.2 points and 10.7 rebounds. In the playoffs, the Lakers swept the Portland Trail Blazers 3-0 in the first round and defeated the San Antonio Spurs 4-1 in the Western Conference semifinals. Up to that point, the playoffs felt like a repeat of the previous year. However, in the conference finals, the Lakers faced the Sacramento Kings, one of the best teams Sacramento had ever assembled, with players like Mike Bibby, Vlade Divac, Chris Webber, and Doug Christie. The Kings won 2 consecutive games, and in Game 4, with 5 seconds remaining and Sacramento leading by 2, Kobe missed a shot, Shaq missed a layup, and Robert Horry hit a 3-pointer, turning the game in the Lakers' favor. In Games 5 and 6, there were controversies involving officiating, with each team winning 1 game, pushing the series to a Game 7. Game 7 was an intense battle, only decided in overtime, with the Lakers emerging victorious. After the series, controversial statements were made by referee Tim Donaghy, who was involved in a mafia scandal, claiming that the NBA influenced officiating to extend the series to 7 games. The NBA vehemently denied these accusations, but Donaghy's history raised doubts. Regardless of the controversies, the Lakers advanced to the 2002 NBA Finals, where they faced the New Jersey Nets, led by Jason Kidd. The Lakers won the series 4-0, claiming their 3rd consecutive title and another Finals MVP for Shaquille O'Neal. However, this would mark the beginning of the end for the Shaq-Kobe partnership. During the offseason, Shaq was dealing with arthritis in his right big toe, an injury that could have been treated right after the 3rd championship. However, he chose not to undergo surgery during the offseason, opting instead to rest, and only had the procedure after the start of the NBA preseason. This deeply irritated Kobe, who had spent the entire offseason training. When questioned about the situation, Shaq responded bluntly, "I was injured during my time in service, so I will recover during my time in service." During Shaquille O'Neal's absence, Kobe Bryant experienced the best scoring stretch of his career, recording a triple-double of 33 points against the San Antonio Spurs, 41 points against the Boston Celtics, and 44 and 45 points in consecutive games against the Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets. However, despite Kobe's incredible performances, the team was not winning. The paint was very weak without Shaq, which hindered the team's performance. After 30 games, Shaquille O'Neal returned, and Phil Jackson's tactical scheme reverted to what it had been in previous years, taking the ball out of Kobe's complete control and forcing him to pass more to Shaq. This left Kobe even more frustrated with his teammate. Shaq maintained averages of 27.5 points and 11 rebounds per game, while Kobe increased his averages to 30 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. The Lakers finished the season with 50 wins and 32 losses, but the duo was not in sync. At the end of that season, Kobe opted to become a free agent, sparking rumors of a potential trade to the Chicago Bulls, the team of his idol, Michael Jordan. Shaq, on the other hand, requested a trade. The Lakers had to choose between Kobe and Shaq and decided to renew with Kobe, who was younger and theoretically at the peak of his career. Shaq was traded to the Miami Heat, where he would form a duo with young star Dwyane Wade. After the split, the relationship between Kobe and Shaq remained tense. When Miami faced the Lakers in a Christmas game, Shaq ignored Kobe, who tried to greet him. In one of the most controversial moments, Kobe claimed he should have paid the woman with whom he had cheated, just like Shaq supposedly did. This caused the end of Shaq's marriage, which created even more animosity between the two. On the court, Shaq and Wade won a title in 2006, while Kobe, despite shining individually, would not become a champion again until 2009 and 2010, alongside Pau Gasol. Even as the years passed, the rivalry between Kobe and Shaq remained until time began to soften their relationship. In 2009, they were teammates in the All-Star Game, where they shared the MVP award. Shaq retired in 2011 and Kobe in 2016, with Shaq present at his farewell game, asking him to score 50 points. Kobe scored 60. In 2018, for the first time in 22 years, the two sat down face-to-face to discuss their lives and careers. Shaq admitted he regretted not having a better relationship with Kobe before the tragic helicopter accident in 2020 that claimed the lives of Kobe and his daughter, Gigi Bryant. At Kobe's memorial, Shaq delivered one of the most emotional speeches, and what remained of this duo became one of the greatest what-ifs in basketball history. If they had understood each other, how many more titles could they have won together? The lesson is to cherish moments before they end, as time passes too quickly. The good memories and legacy of Shaq and Kobe will continue to inspire millions of fans around the world. Who do you prefer, Shaq or Kobe? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your friends. See you in the next one.